Welcome back to the Alternative Highs podcast, the number one podcast in Southwestern Ontario. Quick PSA, a massive percentage of you are not subscribed. You're just sliding in, not even hitting any sort of buttons and just watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit a like, and show me some love. With that being said, Zach, I'm going to have you pronounce your last name so I don't...
It is Mullally.
Mullally. Zach Mullally comes to me. We've never met. Today's our first time. I seen you came across my Facebook, and I was checking you out, and I just want to talk to people locally, see what they're up to, and it seems like you've got what would be the respectful? I don't want to call it a thing. A career choice?
It's a hobby turned into it. I make a little money off of it, I guess.
So let's talk about that. What do you, rapper?
Yes. Yeah, emo rap would be the genre categorized. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get your slide in just in case you're at the picture. But, so emo rap, what, can you explain that?
So, emo rap, I don't really know how to explain the whole situation. I kind of got into that style, like that genre was based off of artists like Little Peep and Juice WRLD.
Okay.
That was their whole thing, and I really enjoyed it, right?
Yeah,
It helped me through some situations.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do the same with mine, right? So I figure, do what I know.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. What, so, and I'll be frank with you. The song that you have tagged to your Facebook.
To my profile, the Sober is Better Than Dead one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
How did you get to that song?
So that's a long progress, but I did get I got the Henny Hermes feature, which he's not like a giant artist, but I got him when he was at like 50,000 monthly listeners. I got his feature on there.
Yeah.
And now he's like 250,000 like and growing.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool. I got that.
That's really cool.
But I made it based off of like a whole year of watching everybody that I used to hang out with either overdose or crash drinking and driving or like everything bad with it, right? So then I heard one night that one of my old friends, acquaintances at the time, like we kind of fell out, had died overnight in his bed and was found in the morning. And then that night I seen everybody going out and partying out at the bar and pouring drinks out for him, and I was like, but that's the lifestyle that got him there.
Yeah.
So then that night, the night after, I wrote a song, which was Sober is Better Than Dead. I wrote that song that next day. And then I released that probably a week or two after, but then it turned into an album project where the Henny Hermes feature came in. And so that album is it's a bunch of different scenarios put in where it causes an issue and it needs
So
some
the
stuff.
sobriety isn't even about your life, it's about somebody else's effect. That's really something.
Yeah, so Sober's Better Than That one is written for, it's for everybody to do it how they want, but basically there was a friend, Austin Birch, who had passed away. And that was that whole scenario there. And then in that same album, I have a song called Better Life, which talks about mine and my life scenario and situations. And then I have What's It Gonna Take, which is growing up with an alcoholic father and all of everything throughout my whole life. And it's just like, what's it gonna take for you to give up the bottle?
And these are your own life experiences?
And then yes, that's
a certain type of vulnerability. I mean,
yes,
that's hard.
That one is a lot of time and effort and thought, and it was a big one.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. His dad able to...
Oh yeah, he listened to it. He likes it.
Yeah?
It didn't change anything.
Did it affect the relationship?
No, not really.
And I ain't looking to start it
He,
yet.
kind,
That's
no,
just
he knows that it's there. Like he knows that how I feel about everything. And
yeah. So what does that do? I mean, none of my business, but California drug. What's that mean?
Oh, it's California sober. So I'm sober from all drugs. I do. I've done a couple edibles. I don't really like weed at all.
Okay.
Other than that, though, like I do still occasionally drink, just not heavily and not.
You can do it in moderation,
right?
And I admire people that can do anything in moderation.
Yeah, and it took me a while to get there. I had to stop, right, and then start slow, and I had to cut myself off.
I don't have that in me. It's one or none.
Yeah,
so,
and that's
What's so? Tell me about this collaboration with her.
With Henny Hermes.
How do you set something up like that with? Anything with a following, I'm sure it's got to be hard.
Yeah, it kind of.
Where's he from?
It's difficult getting things. I think he's from New Hampshire. But I seen his YouTube video. He made Another Love by Tom Donald or something like that.
Okay.
He made a song called Another Drug, and I just highly related with it. Right, he's talking about another drug and whatever, and I heard that and I sent him a message on Instagram. I was like, hey, like I heard this song, I really like this. I have something along this lines I would like you to get on, and it would change that song.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up getting back to me, and then we discussed pricing because you have to pay for features when they're like that big, right? So I ended up I got a feature from him, which was really nice.
That's cool.
And we've talked a little bit since, like on and off, whatever, as he's going up, moving up in the world and stuff. But
so did he come here to do it, or does he stay?
So I recorded all my stuff, did everything, set it up, sent it to him, and then he recorded his and sent just his vocals back to me. Then I redid the mix and the master, and then posted that.
So you do it all your own?
I do everything myself, from everything, like marketing, everything.
Tell me a little bit about how because the behind the scenes of anything is difficult. I'm learning. I'm 50 episodes in, and I'm struggling to get that kind of stuff. How did you get to that? Is that something? Because they don't go hand in hand, do they?
No. Well, no.
Some people are. I can't figure it out.
Yeah,
the editing process is hard.
Yeah, mixing is one of the hardest things for me.
Yeah.
But so I started out with it. I didn't know anything, and I'm not very
techie.
That too, but I'm not very out there too, right? Like I'm not about to go reach out to somebody else and do whatever because I'm not confident like that. Where I'm like, hey, I just add this song, mix it. So like I'd rather just mix it myself. I don't like my raw vocals. Let me fix it. Before anyone gets to hear it. So it started out just not letting anyone into there, and now it's at the point where like I could probably record and get somebody else to do that kind of stuff, but I like doing it all myself.
I was going to say,
it's
will
more,
you change that?
I feel like if it gets to a point where I can't do, like if I have a lot more stuff going on, I will have to like get.
Where is it at right now with like how many like you're on Spotify?
Yes.
How many songs you got sitting on Spotify?
I think I have like 80, something like that.
No kidding.
And I got a bunch that are unreleased that I'm just kind of sitting on.
Yeah. What how does it get measured on Spotify? Is it like streams?
Yeah,
it's obviously not view.
It's streams. You can saves and playlist ads that I can track.
Where does it? What makes you happy to see on there? Is it the streams? Is it the saves? How many you're at? Like, how long have you been on Spotify?
I've been on Spotify since like 2018, but then I took all my stuff down and I had to repost it because I originally recorded from like an iPhone 6 with a microphone plugged into it.
Yeah.
Worse.
Just raw.
Yeah, it sucked. But I liked that at the time, and it was.
Oh shit.
There's actually still a video up on YouTube. I can't figure out how to take it down, and it's called Lean Sippin' by me, and it's...
Lean Sippin'?
It's very old.
Yeah, that's a early 2019.
Oh yeah, that one's rough.
Yeah. But, so what's, how many streams you have, do you know?
Total. Yeah, I can look.
That's the funny part
On
about it.
I can go total on Spotify for certain things. We'll go stream. It's last year. So in the last year, I've had a total of 271,000 streams.
Dang, that's really good.
Yeah, 11,000 listeners.
So how does that? So that means they follow you.
That means they've listened to me. Like I've come across, they've listened to the
That's really
song for
cool,
at least
man.
30 seconds or something.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's not big, but it's doing something.
That's
right?
something.
People are
Like, that's
hearing it.
amazing. How does that get measured? Like monetized levels. Like how do you get monetized on there?
As soon as you have something on there. So if you post up anything over 30 seconds, you somebody listens to it, it's like 0.004 cents per stream.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Takes a little while
a lot
to
of
get
streams to get some money.
Yeah. So what's your future plans?
I think just more collaborations and.
How do you find collaborations? How do you get? Because right now, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find people to collaborate with. I'm looking for followers. I'm looking for subscriptions.
I'm on TikTok. I'll scroll through. I see somebody making music. I like the song. I'll send them a DM. Like, hey, I like your song. I have a song. Do you want to hop on it? How much? Stuff like that.
What does it cost to like? And you can tell me to bugger off, but what's it cost to get somebody to come on to one of your songs?
It's pretty expensive to get the more well-known people.
Yeah.
I have a song with Sion, who at one point was at like 1 million monthly listeners.
Yeah.
And that's how it's all based, kind of, is on monthly listener status, right?
Yeah.
Or your YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
But he had like 500,000, and I heard his song "Never Be Alright," and I was like, I fuck with this song.
Yeah.
Hop on. And I sent him a DM. He answered, and his was like, I think it ended up being like $1,000.
Yeah.
Which was really cheap, honestly.
I was gonna say
that was cheap for him, and he ended up taking over the mix and master of the track too. I sent him just my raw vocals and the beat, and he did what he did with that.
Oh, that's cool.
But
so he earned his 1,000.
Yeah, doing all that too, like that, it probably cost him about $250 just to get the mix and master done.
That's wild to me. I as you were saying this, I was thinking of that really famous reel of Snoop Dogg when he's talking. If you want to get me, it's $250,000.
Yeah.
And if you want to get me in your video, it's gonna be another $250. I was like, dang.
Yeah, it's probably more than that.
I had no clue these numbers.
Yeah.
So how we were talking briefly. Your wife does a podcast. You ever thought about starting your own?
I was actually. I'm talking to my buddy at work right now. We're talking about starting something up. We haven't came on a name yet.
What kind of stuff are you gonna?
We would literally just talk about anything and everything.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have a specific thing because I'm not. We're different people, right? Like I live this life. He's single and plays video games and plays Magic cards with his friends and stuff. Like he's got like single life. I have a married life. We're just gonna kind of.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Dang, son. I would have never got. What's a career move? Like, where are you at? Like, you're working full time.
Yeah.
Putting music out. Being a family guy. Want to start a podcast. Where are you finding all the time?
How do you
manage? I was gonna say it's 9:30. What, you work midnights or something?
No, I actually work all day basically, like 11 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So my whole day is gone. So yeah, mornings and after 9 is really.
It's cool that you're able to make everything work like that.
Yeah.
And you live close because you said you're leaving. Now you're.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
What? How old kids? What do you guys?
I have a 8-year-old, and then I have a 4-year-old and a 1 year 2 month old.
You're just finishing up high school and had baby number 1.
Yes. Yeah.
How was that being
baby number 1 was
dad?
an accident, but
a great one.
Yes. But yeah, no, I was I was probably still in high school actually, because I graduated a year late.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So yeah, I was still in high school.
Victory lap. What was that like?
Mine wasn't a victory lap, but I just had to get my credits.
That's same too.
Yeah.
So being a dad in high school,
Yeah.
and getting, what's that like?
It honestly wasn't great on my part. It wasn't really
Hard.
Wasn't really there. My mom took over most of the responsibility of him for a while. Like obviously I was around when he was around. Like my mom would take him instead of me taking him on the weekends.
You're a kid yourself.
Yeah.
That's a tough. I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
you see it and you hear about it, and I ain't gonna judge. Well, so when you're building, let's just talk about how you get to your music. When you're making a song, you got 80 in the bank, or no, you got 80
out, yeah.
80 out, and you got a bunch in the bank. What are you doing, like from start to end? Like, how does it go? Is it just something that happened throughout the day, and you're like,
yeah, a little bit, yeah. So a little bit of all of it, really. Mainly, I'll not anymore because I don't really drink, and I have a friend that I used to drink with all the time. He's now sober too.
Yeah.
So I'm with him through that, whatever. And mainly, I would just put on random YouTube beats, freestyle something until something came out.
Yep.
And once something came out, we would write that down and be like, "That's good," and then we go from there. Find a new beat, put that to that beat, all that. But no, like sometimes melodies pop in my head, like even just like a melody, like no words.
Yeah.
And then I pull out my phone recorder and.
So, are you making any of your own beats, or you?
I make some.
Okay. I gotta.
I'm very ADHD, and it's like so hard for me to focus on that.
I couldn't even imagine. I interviewed a kid. But it was December, mid-December, and he's in the hospital a lot of his life. He's got sickle cell, what I was just speaking to you about, and he makes all his beats in the hospital. And this guy's talented. I'm gonna try and link you two together for something.
I'll be down for that.
Dope. I don't carry these in too long, and I'm always so fascinated to hear like the financial side of doing a Spotify account. Like you said, 273. Would you have an idea of what that monetary value would be?
I think it's like $4 over 1,000 is what it equals out to.
Oh, that's cool.
So like 10,000 would be 40, 100,000 would be about 400. So
That's
probably about 1,000 total.
Yeah, man.
In a year.
And that's cool.
And that's on Spotify, right? And then like there's Apple Music and there's Tidal. There's
I'm gonna have to pick your brain. I want to put my podcast on Spotify. I want to put my podcast. I've only got it on YouTube, so I might have to pick your brain on how to do things.
That one I'm looking into myself to figure that out.
Oh, it's not as simple as the same as.
So in order for me to do it, it's there's a main distributor for music, right? So I use DistroKid and it distributes music. So I take a song, I give them the file with my cover art, with the name, and then you can input lyrics and whatever, and then they send it out to all the streaming platforms.
Oh, that's cool.
So then I'm trying to find like a DistroKid for podcasts because it's the same, but it's different, right? And then like there's Spotify for artists, and then there's Spotify for podcasters.
Okay.
Which is different. It's different. No idea. And so that one's a process I'm kind of walking myself through.
How long's your wife been?
They just started this up.
Are they on YouTube?
They haven't posted one yet.
Oh, they haven't posted.
They recorded their first one yesterday. So
it's like brand new.
Yeah, and they're starting up. They got a Facebook page going, whatever, and it's like 250 friends on Facebook or followers on Facebook. I don't know how it is, but
good for them. I'll have to look into it. Maybe we can do a pod together or something.
Yeah. She definitely has a more interesting life than I do. She's writing a book too.
She what?
She's writing a memoir.
Really?
And just a couple pages that she's got is like, oh, it'll make you cry. Oh, easy.
I got a big heart. I'm very compassionate. The past that I've lived through. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on today, bud.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you. I'll actually. Do you want to plug your Spotify?
Yeah. Zach Genie on any streaming platform. ZAKKGENNI. I know Genie spelled like Jenny.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
It's awesome though. I put on my my DJ on Spotify and he's like, oh, now playing Zach Jenny, and I'm like, that's not my name.
I like that. Okay, thanks. Peace and love. Dude.